So this week I'm back with the video because I'm back, y'all. I've been off for a while. I really was going through my season with God. I was struggling, and I kind of just want to get into that a little bit because I feel like this video is all about giving yourself permission. Mostly just giving yourself permission to be loved by God, to be seen by God, to be seen by who needs to see you, and just like letting go of old wounds, letting go of the past, all of the things that come with that. So I'm going to talk about my experience a little bit just to get us all back on track. Yeah, so I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I really was in the deep of school, getting ready to graduate. I just celebrated my 30th birthday, so your girl has been having a lot of feelings, a lot going on, a lot to process, and I was struggling with my connection with God. There were so many instances where he could have pushed me away or just made me feel like he wasn't there, and no matter what season I've been in, God has continued to show up for me. He's continued to be there even when I was not as active in prayer, church, just different habits. He was still there and has still continued to show out and just be a supporting and loving father. So big ups to just a spiritual connection and really building an authentic connection with Christ. I want to let y'all know that part of my struggle with remaining on YouTube was that I was getting so many downloads and so many prophetic videos that I was really struggling to not feel like another prophetic channel. Parts of it, this is no shade, but for me in my personal journey, sometimes it felt just like I was portraying this perfect Christian, and I'm not a perfect Christian. I don't even believe in a perfect Christian. I think it's a facade. I think that it's toxic for humans in general, but especially people that have been through things. I didn't become a therapist for no reason. I have my own story, my own past, my own pains and wounds that I reflect on and struggle with. And so I would get these really powerful words and encouragements, and I just felt like I wasn't being authentic because I still like to go out, I still like to party, I still like to enjoy my time with friends, I still like different types of music. You can listen to my playlist right now, and if I wouldn't get copyrighted, I would show y'all. 1 second it would be gospel, and the next is Lotto, and that is just who I am. That's who I want to be in this space. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to let God work on me, but I just want to be authentic and true to myself and who I am and who I've been called to be, because I know that that does relate to other people, but I also know it makes other people very uncomfortable too. So enough of that. I wanted to share with you guys just a download that God gave me before my nice fire nap. It's really focused on trauma and self-esteem. I feel like this past season it was all about me building up my self-esteem from not feeling valued, from feeling unworthy, from feeling uncertain about who I am, and kind of that piece I talked about of feeling like God wouldn't love me for me, and he's proven me wrong every time. So in this I said, healing your self-esteem happens when shock from past trauma leaves your body. It's a process of waking up to who you are and healing / letting go of who you are not. Trauma instantly can create a false sense of self and identity, leaving you trapped in fear, shame, guilt, doubt, insecurity, anxiety, and depression. When you heal, you let go of those parts. You let go of the shock of being seen as invaluable, the shock of unexpected death, divorce, emotional or physical pain. It all leaves your body and you're forced to adjust to peace, and that takes time. But one day, you finally arrive to peace and healthy self-esteem. You begin to understand that your value and peace only can come from you, and no one can take it from you but you. At last, you accept you, and it doesn't matter who didn't, doesn't, or won't, because you're still standing. You're blooming, flourishing, getting better, and finer too. So that's just like my little insert of what I was feeling, and just feeling like when you're in a space of healing, which is a continuous journey, but I feel like you reach this milestone in your healing journey where you're really forced to choose if you're going to believe that God loves you for who you are, or if you're going to continue to believe that you're unworthy and invaluable, and that the shame, fear, and guilt that any trauma brought to you is yours. Because those things aren't yours to carry forever. They're not yours to make your identity. It's really there to shape you. For those of y'all that don't know, before I started on my journey of becoming a therapist and being interested in psychology and starting a nonprofit to help other people, before all of that happened, I was like a party girl. I knew God and always have had God in my life, but I wasn't invested into myself spiritually. And it really took for me to have my own experiences with mental health and depression for me to be in that space and actually care about it. And really, I used to just not I didn't care about anything that was deeper than the superficial. So God really took me through my 20s of healing and just getting to the deep parts. I really stayed off surface for all of my 20s. I was not surface level at all. God really stripped that away from me, and I'm just realizing that as I say it. But it was really just for me to build a security in Him, to build a security in things that were not of the world, and to know who I am, and to know my journey, and to know how I can serve Him, and how I can share the good news and be a light in this world for other people. Had I not gone through that, I would have tried to do broadcast journalism. I would have tried to be just everything that y'all see on Instagram that we know can be toxic and polluting to our minds. That's the path that I was interested in. But in my 20s, God really just brought me to a space of focusing on the wounds and bringing those wounds to Him. And I think as I was exiting my 20s, and even now, my biggest focus is continuing to do that and continuing to feel loved at the same time. I think that's such a tricky combination, because we don't want to accept love when our wounds are open. And that's a word. That's a word. We don't want to accept love when our wounds are open, because you feel so vulnerable, and you feel just all of the feelings that trauma brought you, of feeling like you're not good enough and wondering why bad things happen. All of that's open, and to feel love in the same space, just mentally, it wasn't locking in. But I'm here on this channel to be authentic and genuine. Y'all are going to see my life, how I live it with God, as I'm learning, as a therapist, as a girl who likes to be outside, as all of those things. That's what I'm bringing y'all into. So thank y'all for your patience, and I hope that this taught you something just about letting your wounds be open and letting God and other people come into your life and love on you, because it's so miserable to have closed wounds and you're the only one experiencing all that comes with that, like the pain and the suffering. But when you open up, you'll be so surprised at how many people will support you and love you. And I know there's a lot of people, a lot of patients that I even work with that don't believe that, but I'm here to tell you that I am proof. I am living proof of that you can go through hard stuff, you can feel suicidal, you can be depressed, have anxiety, social anxiety off the charts, not feel lovable, not feel valued, feel fatherless and alone, and still come to a place of feeling whole and understanding that your peace comes from within. It doesn't come from anybody else. You cannot rely on other people for your peace, because that's not their responsibility. but it is, as a community and as God's people, it is our responsibility to love on our people. So that's what I'm here to do. I love y'all. You will be seeing me again soon. Y'all have an amazing day, night, whatever time it is, and I'll see y'all next time.